Just like the previous challenge video, the Kamehameha, I'm going to record the solution video first, where I'm just actually creating the entire task, and then I'll record the challenge for you later on. This is going to be using global variables, just like the previous challenge, but it's going to be slightly different with the on-mouse release. Instead of changing a location, we're going to be changing a size. So my thought for this one is I want to have a little animated plunger that as I click, it goes down and the balloon gets bigger, and then I release and the plunger comes up and the balloon stays the same size. So for this, I think I'm gonna need a I'm gonna need a plunger top, and I'll set that equal to a rectangle at, it's gonna be pretty far down there. Let's try 300, and it's gonna be very wide, but not very tall, so maybe 50 by 5, and it can stay black. Let's start with just that. Let's see. Bada boom. Oh, perfect. That's like exactly where it needs to be. Okay, great. And then we need the, ooh, I almost went back there. Then we'll need the plunger, I don't know, like pole. I'm gonna make this a line starting at the center of this plunger. So it was at 300 and I went 50 to the right. It should be at 325, 300, and then it's gonna go down a little bit. So 325, whoops, and down more, let's call it 330. Yeah, we'll see how what 330 looks like. Let's test this out. Looks good. I want a little bit wider of a plunger here. Let's make it, and I'm gonna go even further down. I'm gonna go down to 340, and we'll make the line width, equal to 5. Sure, yeah, that's fine. Okay, those are two components that are gonna be moving a little bit. And I wonder, can I be really clever? Maybe if I make, hold on, instead of making this a rectangle, I'm gonna make this a line. So, do I wanna be clever? Is that gonna confuse students? Well, I will make this a line either way. At 300, 300 is fine. Then going to 350, 300, 350, 300, and the line width will make 5 also. Hey, look, it didn't change barely. I really, whatever, we're not gonna do it the smart way. And then I will make my balloon. At the end, maybe I'll show, at the very end of the solution video, I'll show the smart way, which I think is pretty cool. Then I'll make my balloon, which we will make at the coordinates, maybe 100, 200. Whoops, we gotta make it a circle at 100, 200 with a radius of, it'll be a tiny balloon first, and it will be green. So far, so good. Finally, I'm gonna make the red kind of plunger rectangle thing. I could make a tube attaching them. I don't wanna. So let's make now, this I wanna make a rectangle. I'll make a rectangle at what, 300, 340. At a rectangle at 300, 340. This will be 50 by 50, and it's gonna be red. Great. And now we gotta just add our on-mouse press, on-mouse release, and this is a pretty easy one. Maybe I should have made a harder challenge. On-mouse press XY, even though we're not using that, I should define it. And on mouse press, what we're going to do is we're going to move plunger top dot center Y. The X isn't going anywhere, it's just going up and down. Center Y is going to be equal to blah, 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 blah. We were at 300. It goes down to 340. So let's put it down to 320. The plunger pole dot Y1 is going to be 320, and that's all that needs to change. And then the balloon, we're going to dot radius is going to be set equal to itself plus equals, and we'll do 10 each time. I think that's really kind of the core of this. We'll do the on mouse release in a moment, but let's see. When I click, plunger goes down and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, bigger. Great. If we had conditionals, it could pop eventually, but it won't. So then the last thing is to make our on mouse release, def on mouse release XY, and we're going to reset the plunger top center Y back to 300. We will fix that typo, and then we'll set the plunger pole Y1 back to 300. And hey, let's get a little crazy here. Let's maybe make the balloon radius balloon.radius minus equals 2. It'll deflate a little bit as we're pumping it up, so you have to keep pumping to keep it going. And if we run this now, plunger goes down, plunger comes up, plunger goes down, plunger comes up, and we get this kind of cool little deflate between each inflate. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Ooh, I don't like that that box is not covered by the balloon. All we need to do to fix that is just put the rectangle, the rectangle before the circle, even though I don't like that I'm defining a variable after it, but whatever. And now when I do this, the balloon should totally cover the plunger. Nice. All right. Hey, I think that's the challenge. In case you are a little confused by this plus equals, this means I'm just saying balloon radius is equal to balloon dot radius plus 10. It's just a faster way of writing it. Same thing with the minus equals. This could be balloon dot radius minus 2. And it will, like, literally nothing will change in this. It should still look exactly the same. Now, if you were interested at the beginning about me being a little bit smarter over here, it would be, this is what I was thinking of, and I hope this works. Instead of having plunger top and plunger pole, plunger top and plunger pole, if I made another other variable that's just holding on to a value, maybe I'll make the Y, I'll call it plunger Y. I'm going to set it equal to 300 at the start. And instead of plunger top, yeah, no, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Alrighty, we're done. That's the solution. Hopefully that was helpful if you were working on the challenge and you couldn't quite figure it out. Hopefully it gives you some ideas as you're getting closer to the creative task, or just, ideas on, in general, how to make some cool stuff using on-mouse press, on-mouse release, and messing around with the properties of your shapes.